Pacheco, kind of all over the field, playing different guys. It'll be interesting to watch this unfold.
Here's Sheridan trying to go to work early for the Spiders. Works it across to Ricciardi, and now Richmond looking for another opportunity from Aiden O'Neill in tight. Back across to Picard. Over to Gavin Creo with the shot clock at 18. Lehigh reacting well defensively. Creo, though, dives through, fires and scores. He got around McAuliffe and another defender, and Richmond takes the 1-0 advantage on Creo's 8th of the season.
You know what? I think on balance, Connor Knight might be my early MVP for Richmond in these early games. But Gavin Creo has just been terrific from the get-go, from the very first game. Playing at a different level. You know, he can make that kind of play as a former attackman, but he's also shown some range shooting the ball that I just didn't see coming.
Got a matchup that time defensively. McAuliffe came over and tried to help out.
Packard, you know, I think going into the season, I think Dan was thinking that Packard might play on their first offensive midfield. Picard, though, has come on, and Creo and Sheridan has settled in as the first unit, and I think they're going to get more mileage out of Packard in different ways as the season goes on. I don't think he's going to be exclusively be a defensive player.
Be a two-way.
He can create some real matchup problems in the offensive end, because oftentimes he'll catch one of the other team's offensive players in that box, and he can dodge and get his own.
There's Picard. His shot's good. Daniel Picard from the wing gets it past Casey Heath for his 6th of the season. Spiders take a 2-0 advantage here quickly.
When I came around in the preseason and watched Richmond scrimmage and practice, Picard was really running on the second midfield. He was the fourth guy, and I remember saying to Coach Shamati afterwards, I said, boy, I really like Picard, Dan. I think he's going to do something for you before the season's out, and it wasn't a week later when he had pushed his way onto the first midfield.
That is Hayden there trying to get the setup inside to Ricciardi, finds O'Neill back behind at the X offensively. And O'Neill taking his time back there looking for somebody in front. He'll circle and fire, and he'll hit the top shelf. He'll get that past Casey Heath. And O'Neill just said, all right, I can't find anybody. I'll do it myself for goal number 10 of the season.
You know, when everybody scouts these days and you're looking at O'Neill, you're saying, you put in the scouting report, he's a right-handed player. And, you know, we've talked a couple times that he has come around on the other side and made plays, either made the pass or scored the goal. And it's indicative of who he is now as a player. He's the real deal on the attack.
Quick start for Richmond, 3-0 advantage. Aiden O'Neill couldn't find anybody in front, so goes to work on his own and gives the Spiders an early 3-0 advantage in quarter number 1 here in Richmond. Here in this first quarter of action, Spiders going to bring this in from the corner now. Ricciardi and O'Neill switch out. In the middle, Creo fires, and that one's knocked high and back by the back line.
You know, and you can see for Creo, you know, you want your players to develop, and now, you know, he's got a little more experience, a former attackman, now being covered by a short stick primarily.
Right, open in front for Aiden O'Neill. Scramble loose on the offensive end, and O'Neill tallies another. That's the second for O'Neill, his 11th of the season, and Richmond extends that lead now to 4-0.
And what I was getting to is that for somebody like Creo, who's covered by a short stick, as a former attackman, it's like a get-out-of-jail-free card. Covered by a short stick. You're just confident you can make plays, and he's taking advantage of that.
So it's O'Neill, Ricciardi, and Littlejohn on the offensive attack for Richmond, with Sheridan, Creo, and Picard as you watch the loose ball pick up and cause turnover here.
Richmond off to a really good start on defense.
A solid play so far. 4 Mountain Hawks turnovers, and they've all been caused by the Spiders, as Packard on the left side.
Yeah, we talked a little bit, talking a little bit the last time with Ricciardi going to the cage a little bit. You'd like to have, Littlejohn, it's not really his role. And so you'd like to have that second attackman who's a threat from behind the goal, a threat to dodge.
In front,
nice
there's Littlejohn, and he stuffs it home. Good assist from Picard. Picard coming on late with a change, and He was wide open on the wing, and he found Littlejohn in front, his 7th of the season, and Richmond out to a 5-0 edge.
Picard, Hayden, Huber. There are some good young middies in the stable here at Richmond. Nice pass.
And again, all alone on the front door.
And I said that was one of the keys for Richmond is being ready to play at the opening whistle. I'm sure the coaches couldn't be more pleased with how they've started this game. And it's been not only been offensively, they've locked it down defensively also.
There's another one. Gives the Spiders another tally on the board.
Did I say that Creo was my favorite player? Did I say that already?
That's the second
switch
of the game
from Picard,
for Creo,
and
you're doing a lot of switching for a former defenseman, right? Here's Creo. He just fired that one.
Surprised that they're using him more.
So at this point, the Mountain Hawks have had one shot offensively. And they'll see if they can create some offense here.
You can see that Richmond is playing with an edge on defense.
Pennyfeather Stevenson's out there for a lot of stints so far. Farrell defensively in close here. That one comes free. A flag flies and a goal scored on the wing shot. Looks like Luke Winkler might have put that one in. And so the Mountain Hawks get the answer they've been looking for. That is the 6th of the season for Winkler, and it makes it a 6-1 Richmond advantage.
I think Connor Knight had a beat on that one. He got a piece of it anyway. I'm sure he'd like to have that one back.
So this one's set up as that one comes free. Winkler picks it up, just fires it low, and it got right past Knight.
He hasn't been able to take advantage of much in this early season.
And you've got O'Neill wandering around. Sheridan tried to take advantage there, and this will go to Richmond. So for a moment, you had McAuliffe on Creo, which left O'Neill. Now McAuliffe's gone back to O'Neill.
I think, again, because they like to move Checo around. McAuliffe is their main matchup guy, going to play the number 1.
Nice movement here for a Creo shot, and he whistles that one home.
Creo.
10th goal.
Left-handed coming around the cage early in the game.
So
and
that's
then
your favorite player, right?
That's exactly right. and that's the shot right there. That's the play right there that has been a development for him this year, stepping in and hitting that 12-yarder.
That is a long-distance shot.
That's a big boy shot right there.
And Gavin Creo's 10th of the season puts Richmond upside. Cole Hayden working. Short stick on O'Neill for the moment.
Somebody's open.
Now McAuliffe found him. Fired that one in front. Comes free onto the side to Hayden. And now Richmond's going to reset. Hayden in front. Littlejohn left him open again, or at least he was open, whether he was left open or not. But that's, I think, the second or third time today that Littlejohn's been found in front. He puts that one home.
You put Littlejohn in spots where his guy has to make the decision about whether or not he's going to slide, and that creates a little flicker of space for Lucas, and you can see a team that clearly has confidence throwing the ball into him from all over the field.
Harrison Vassell was trying to get back there. Watch again, you'll see him come into the picture. Littlejohn sneaks in. Vassell is there just. Richmond back to the offense now with that 8-1 lead. Now the second midfield is on with Hayden and Huber. And Packard is running with that second midfield more so now. But again, as you pointed out earlier, Don, we'll see him go back and forth a little bit here with defensive side, then the second midfield, and kind of a two-way job. Ricciardi circles around inside the far post and scores his first goal of the game, 5th of the season. It is a 9-1 Richmond advantage.
You may have heard me yapping from the press box here that I think that we need to see more of that as the season goes on. Take a little of the dodging pressure off of O'Neill's shoulders. Take advantage in those other spots.
Well, in a game like today, if you're going to put the pull on O'Neill and you're going to put a pull on Creo, then that's going to leave Ricciardi on a short here and try to get blocks. And they've turned it over 12 times now. 10 times Richmond has caused the turnover.
We talked about one of the keys to the game for Lehigh is to get quality shots on a hot goalie. Connor Knight's been very good in this early part of the season, and he's been good again today when he's needed to be. And they just haven't been able to generate enough good shots to really put pressure on Richmond.
Shot clock at 16. Ricciardi in front. He finds an opening and scores. Heath leaps into the air to try to stop it, but can't. And that's the second for Ricciardi. 6th of the season. And 10-1 Richmond with 37 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, against a good Lehigh defensive team. Like I say, this is a development for Richmond that this is only good news, boys. And again,
like you said, they've been on it on both ends today. This is, I know they got the win over Virginia, but at least from the start so far, this is a ray. And the ball comes free now as Lehigh comes out with it, but we'll keep an eye on
nice
Littlejohn.
Look.
In front, good feed. Connor Knight can't make the stop. And the tally is good for the Mountain Hawks. Or was he in the crease?
I think they're talking about it. Goal good.
So the goal counts for Andrew Kelly. And Lehigh comes out firing now for the first goal of half number 2. It's Kelly's 3rd of the season. And it's an 8-goal Richmond advantage at 10-2.
Be interesting to see if this is one that Richmond might challenge.
Neal up top. Looking for some room. He's going to dump it inside from the wing, and that one just off target. There's Leo Kane taking that shot. I think Kane may be out there for Littlejohn, who was shaking up on that one possession earlier. And now Kane's coming back off. He was out certainly on that. Let's see if Littlejohn's out as Creo works behind the cage here. Gets it to Ricciardi. Ricciardi circles in front and scores. He got dumped, but he'll put that one in the top shelf. And Richmond will get that goal back for an 11-2 advantage on Ricciardi's 3rd of the game and 7th of the year.
He may get the first star for this game to date anyway. He's, like I said, and this is an option that is going to make Richmond much, much more dangerous as the season goes on.
Take another look at this. It's going right up top.
Yeah, Lehigh just little trouble getting themselves organized there defensively. The last time Aiden had the ball up above the restraining line, like where he's going now, I don't think you really want to feed from up top, from top down.
Here's Littlejohn. And he finds Huber. Huber on the wing here to O'Neill. To the wing of Littlejohn. He'll go down low this time and fire that one home as he gets it past Heath. Littlejohn scores, 2nd of the game. Actually 3rd of the game now for him, and that's his 9th of the year. And Richmond's back up to a 10-goal advantage at 12-2.
Nice pass from Aiden from the top down, as if he was listening to the telecast and said, "Mr. Starzia, watch this."
And there it is.
Assisted by number 5, Aiden O'Neill.
What's the offsides?
Goal scored at 9:28.
Farrell pushes this one to the middle. And that'll be Joe Sheridan to carry it in. 33 shots for the Spiders today, 21 of which have been on the goal. And 10 for Lehigh, 6 on Cage. There goes Sheridan. Right in front, Littlejohn just right there. And he fires that one home. And Littlejohn's had 4 today, 10 on the year. And Richmond goes up now 13-2.
You have just got to keep a stick on Lucas Littlejohn. And Even if, like I say, you're putting Little John in a spot where his man has to make the decision about whether or not he's going to slide. And generally, if you're going to slide, you're going halfway, but you can't go halfway when you're covering Lucas Littlejohn.
I mean, there's nobody within, 5, 6, 7. There's Finn Morgan. Quick shot and a goal. Winkler got that one off on a possession. It looked like it was going to go awry there for a moment. That's his second of the game. 7th of the year for Winkler. And the Mountain Hawks get one back now, 13-3 Spiders.
Yeah, defensively we reached in for that ball and didn't get it. And Winkler was there for the loose ball.
We'll take the timeout here, I believe. So we'll take another look at it as we go to break on that tally. 10-goal lead, though, for the Spiders here in the third with 6:22 to play. Third quarter.
So we got to keep pressing. And they've got young players in key roles that are just figuring it out. And, again, I think it speaks to the team that they're going to be a little bit later in the season, that Picard and Huber and Hayden and Creo and these guys are all starting to make plays and starting to feel themselves confidence-wise.
Sheridan fires from out front. That sneaks through. Sheridan crossing in front from distance and fires, and Joe Sheridan from a long distance out makes it 14-3 now, his first of the game today.
And again, if they, that's what happens in lacrosse. They all of a sudden if they start to slide the pole over to Creo, Sheridan again gets a short stick and takes advantage of it. For Lehigh, this is one you got to slide too early. Going into the game, I'm going to guess that they.
And now Lehigh's got a chance to answer here quickly. And a flag comes. 2 of them come flying after that possession starts.
If that was an interference, perhaps, away from the ball.
It'll be on Richmond, obviously, and Lehigh will get the chance until possession changes or play stops. Colin French in front. Colin French scores. As French gets his first of the game, his 4th of the season. That makes it 14-4 now with the tally.
Same message to Richmond that we just gave to Lehigh, which is that get that short in the wing like that. You need to get there a little step or two sooner to support him.
Take another look at it. The tally there. Was an interference pass. And just an over-the-head backward shot that time on the attempt. And fancy work from Peter DeBuscher. It doesn't go in.
His name who hasn't come up for us in this telecast that we were talking about before we got started was Theo Doropoulos. Thinking that was going to be a little bit tricky.
And now Ricciardi at the other end. Winds and fires, and that one sneaks its way past Heath. And Richmond goes up 15-4. Ricciardi with another tally today. Will be his 4th of the day and 8th of the season.
It's been his day so far.
So Ricciardi with 4, Littlejohn with 4. Nice job there by Tanner Huber to get it off to Jack Pilling. And then Pilling gets the from their offensive attack last year. 2 talented offensive players, but over the years it seems like they just continue to add on player after player after player who is very gifted offensively. And they can give you so many options on your offense.
I just don't remember watching a Richmond team. I mean, they've been good before. We've seen them be good, but
that is a tremendous shot right there on a tally. It looks like, is that Jack Archer that put that one in? I believe it is.
Nice handle.
And that makes it 15-4 with 1.3 seconds left here in the third quarter.
I just don't recall watching a Richmond team with so many good young players in the wings. Ready to step in if they're needed to. Right on making plays when they're asked to, and you're looking down the line. A year from now, they graduate some very good players. Maybe even more so at the defensive end, but they've got some good players. Ready to. Marty has established himself more. Players like Tanner and Huber and Gaylord. Coming in their first year and making a difference. They think the quality of the players coming to the University of Richmond has gotten better and better over the years.
Jack Pilling working there defensively, and the shot from French picked up and fired ahead. The outlet quickly to the offensive end. Packard feeds it to Littlejohn, and the shot from the wing from Aiden O'Neill.
Nice look. It's the way to move the ball.
12th of the season for O'Neill, third today, and Richmond up 16-5 now.
Thought Connor Knight might have put a little too much air under that ball going out to the midfield.
That's the finish. So O'Neill has got 12 goals and 10 assists now in the season.
How many assists does Littlejohn have in the course of the season?
Littlejohn, and Tommy's probably also done a few other things. And he hasn't, scratched the scoring column as much, but he's been involved in creating a little bit as Lehigh gets away here with this one.
He's been good. He has been good. He's continued to make plays. It's not always reflected in the score sheet. Sometimes you're just creating space for somebody else to make a play, and forcing people to come to him as a Dodger. Again, opens up the field for some of these other guys.
That's a nice assist from Theodoropoulos, who hits on the wing Luke Breslin, who scores. That's his first of the game and 8th of the season. Makes it 15-6 now, 16-6 Spiders, with 8:23 still to go.
It's a nice shot.
And Theodoropoulos with the feed, his third assist.
We talked as one of the keys of the game for them to get quality shots on the goal, and Connor Knight has not seen a lot of.
Ramirez bringing it ahead. Now a chance for Lehigh to set it up. Colin French. A lot of new faces out there here for the Spiders now. We've got Sean Siegel out there, junior long stick. Just off target on that circle attempt, and the fire from Andrew Kelly. And this one's going to score on that attempt from Colin French. Worked his way around Sean Siegel that time, and it makes it a 16-7 game with 2:57 left. Second of the game for French and 5th on the season.
Siegel listed as a long stick midi. When they find those guys, when they find themselves close to the goal, coming to the goal line extended, that's where they're in new territory.